Okay, welcome everybody. It is going to be a special edition of the Doghouse tonight. We are in the midst of the final days of the Critter action figure Kickstarter, and rather than sit here and try and sell you comics tonight, we're going to just talk comics tonight. Maybe get you guys to head over and check out the campaign. Throw a few dollars that way rather than doing a live show tonight. Make this scene happen, folks. Make this happen. It is in your hands as of now. I cannot do it without you. Welcome, everybody. It is the Doghouse, episode 124-ish, 124, 123.5, something like that. Tonight, like I said, we're just chilling out. We got people hanging out here already. Scott's here. Joshua's here. Somebody's here. Somebody else is here. If you'd like us to know who you are, just like we can see Joshua, head over to streamyard.com/Facebook. You can let the systems talk to each other. And that way we'll be able to see who we are talking to, because we don't know who you are. What's up, everybody? Also tonight, we have guests. We have guests from around, well, I was going to say around the world, but it's really just around the country. We have fellow Kickstarter alum, Trish Bankston is here.
Hi.
She's going to tell you all about her campaign tonight as well, because we know she never, ever talks about her campaign, ever.
Never.
For the last month. Nobody knows anything about her or her book or Mike or
Scratch
anything.
and sniff bra and panty stickers, guys.
And with that, we're done. That's it tonight. We have crossed the line already. Trish and Mike, of course, have been big supporters of the indie world for quite some time. They have launched their own book tonight that we're going to talk about, as well as we talk about the Critter Kickstarter. Okay, Mr. Bishop, we got you now. Now you're good. Now you're here. All right. We have also BDI fan Shawnee.
How do I follow Trish's intro there? I mean, that's
you are the collector of many magnets.
I am.
We can see that in the background.
Yes.
These
my,
are your
my Frigio magnets there.
Yeah, those are your badge of honors for your Kickstarter. This is what Shawnee does, yo.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
I would coin you as the queen of Big Dog Inc., to be completely honest.
Oh,
dang.
You are so supportive of every time Tom's on or anybody. I mean, you are the queen of, and you know everything about Big Dog Inc., so you are the queen.
Well,
does she know everything?
No, but I try. And if I don't know, I ask Tom.
That's right.
I've got him on speed dial.
That's right. And somewhere at some point,
did we lose him?
Mr. Schiff is around.
He's
floating, meandering.
He's gonna make a grand entrance, I think is.
Is that the plan? Like, we'll just be talking, and then he'll just come on. Ah!
Exactly. Yes. All of a sudden, boom! There he is.
I see. All right. I get it. So guys, we're just chit-chatting tonight. There's no live sale tonight. We're going to talk about the Critter Kickstarter campaign, as you can see right here. We're going to talk about Brink and Fetch, which is Trish's campaign, which ends. When does yours end? Mine ends on Saturday.
The 14th.
So
Valentine's Day.
Yes, because that is Brink's birthday.
Aha. Okay.
Because Mike's been gaming her for 25 years. He won't let me, but yeah, 25 years he's been playing a version of her, so her birthday is Valentine's Day.
Okay, excellent. So you got a couple of days beyond me. So guys, this is it. We're in that final period of Kickstarters. We just had Wendy Shaner just finished up like about a week ago. CB Zane finished up a couple of days ago. So it's down to me and Trish. Actually, even Cara and Alfred finished up just a couple of days ago. So there's a lot of stuff wrapping up right now. We're going to give you a chance to check it all out. But we're just here to just talk about stuff right now. So, what? Let's just start with Trish. What's been your sort of? What's been your? I don't know if it's the reaction. Like, what's your experience? How's your experience been with running a campaign?
The whole campaign or the whole project?
Just everything. Just like,
just
you know,
everything?
you guys, because you guys were fans, you know, you're comic fans and you're fans of ours and all these other people. And then you're like,
and then we
hey,
saw
let's
you
make a
and
book.
Jim do it as normal people. You know what I mean? You guys were our first introduction that normal people
There's
can
nothing
do
normal about us.
Okay, normal-ish.
Any
you know
capacity. Have you seen these?
Have you met?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think BDI family and normal necessarily.
Yeah,
but we know what you're talking about, Trish. We get to
exactly.
It.
But anyways, we saw you guys do it, and we listened for like during the whole COVID season. We listened to you guys and asked questions. And Mike's like, "Honey, you know this is my dream," and I'm like, "I know." And he's like, "Can we do it?" I said, "Let me investigate to make sure we got the money to do this because it is not a
Sure. So what
cheap
was it?
Adventure, and I made it over time you can handle."
Yeah. So, but was it a dream since 2020, or was it a dream since like?
It was a dream since the first time he walked on Chicago before it was even Wizard World.
Okay.
You know, when we went to Chicago back in the 80s, you know, when Mike was younger than me, and then we started going in the 90s together. It was a dream of his, you know what I mean? And he sat with the great ones, you know, and befriended them. I mean, we went out to San Diego and sat with Stan Lee, who introduced him to Oliver Stone. You know what I mean? And Mike's always that
dropping the names. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you know, to say, oh yeah, I sat with Oliver Stone and Stan Lee, and we were just drinking water and hanging out, you know. But back in the 80s, nobody really cared who Stan was. He got overlooked a lot. So
frighteningly, that's true. Like that doesn't even seem possible. But in 1992, 3, something like that, one of my like first or second San Diego Comic Cons, I was there with a friend. We're just roaming around. We're in the like the retail area. We're looking at comics. We kind of hang a left and turn around, and there's Stan sitting at a table, like at some retailer store, you know, one of the booths, like retail booth. He's just sitting there with like, I don't know, 5 guys in line. And I'm like, I look at my friend, I'm like, yo, is that, I think that's Stan Lee, right? And he looks, he's like, oh, he freaked out. Like he was like, yo, that's Stan Lee. We got to get books. And, you know, and immediately we just like turned around, went to this other retailer. We're like, okay, we need a Spider-Man somewhere. Give me a Spider-Man. And we go back over. And like I said, there's like 5 dudes. 5 people in line for Stan Lee, and we get in line. We come up. I give him my book. He is all of what you imagine Stan Lee is. True believers, welcome, Excelsior. Here's my signature. Have a everything. He is everything that you have ever seen.
Wow.
And then he says, and I had no clue. And then he says, go down there and meet John. And I turned down there and I'm like, who's John? And I just wanted to shoot myself in the head because that's John Romita Sr. And I was like, oh my God. And same thing. There's just like 5 dudes, you know, it's the same 5 dudes just going down the line. And John Romita Sr. is doing free sketches. You know, I mean, this is a time before time, like people. It's freaking believable what used to happen back in the day.
Let me iterate something that like we just went to a con and there's Sam De La Rosa, you know, and like all these kids are passing him over, and he's like, so me and Mike spent an hour just hanging out with him, and he's like, hey, if you guys see me at a con, you know, just come hook me up and we'll go get some tacos and we'll go out to eat. We had tacos with the dude for lunch and spent just an hour just chilling because all these kids there, they just want the voice actors.
Oh, sure.
You know, they didn't care about, you know, oh, that's an artist. They're like, and they just passed them over.
So what's your, do you have a Stan Lee story, Shawnee?
I do not. I unfortunately, I did not have a chance to meet him before he passed. So,
Rob? You got a Stan Lee story?
Yeah, the only Stan Lee story I have is my buddy Dave Ray. He used to handle him at Dragon Con. So I was working Dragon Con one year. I forget what year it was, and Stan was there as one of the guests. And Dave was able to bring him by for about, a quarter of a second before the rest of the security tackled and shoved him away. So I could say that I was within inches of Stan Lee, but I could never say I met him.
Well, technically, my Stan story is I got him coffee because he was like, "Honey, when we were out San Diego, he's like, I would love some coffee, and one of those boys is supposed to bring me coffee, but it's been an hour. Do you know where I can get a cup of coffee?"
Oh.
Like, yes, I will go get you a cup of coffee, Stan.
That actually is an awesome story. I mean, because I love it. Every time I was looking for him every now and then, but I never even got a chance to be in the same room. It was just, it's just one of those things that's okay. But I live vicariously through the rest.
Oh my gosh.
So that was Mike's dream was that's where it started from, was going to cons way before. And then, the 100+ boxes of comics we have upstairs throughout the house, spread all around, that was his passion, to do his own comic book. So that's where it came from. And seeing you guys do it, we're like, and we took notes and put it all together.
And if those two schmucks can pull it off, then anyone can do it.
Well, that's what I figured. I'm like, Mike, you're more of the Tom.
She doesn't argue.
You're more the Tom, you're the intellectual, and I'm the cray-cray. So, like, if you put us together, I think we can do this.
I see. All right. That's fair. So, like, what has been your experience? Has it been a good experience overall for you guys?
Oh, it's. I've cried so many times at all the love and support that we have. I mean, everybody's like, "Oh, I have haters," and people are like, "Oh, if you're not on this side of Comicsgate or that Comicsgate, you can't be on that show or this show or what." And you know what? None of that has affected me and Mike. We have our beliefs. I don't push them on you. Don't push yours on me, and we'll get along just great and dandy.
Yeah.
Why can't we just all read comics and get along?
There we go. I think that's one of the things I love about this particular group that we have, not just small, but the whole encompassing BDI as well. But we all, it's just, we support each other. I mean, and we don't, it's like, you can believe what you want as long as you don't do it. And we don't care. Buy
and that's the exact reason why I'm going to try to come see you in May.
Yes. Rob and I are going to hang out. It's going to be awesome.
Where are you guys going in May?
I'm coming to California for graduation, so any chance to go see Shawnee is a good one. So I'm gonna try to sneak away, and then I've got to go see my mom while I'm there. It's been, how long have I been here now? Almost 6 years. It's been 6 years since I've seen my mom. It's probably time.
Yeah, I found out he was going to be in my area, so I'm like, come check and come. Let's get together.
I think after 6 years, the restraining orders dropped, so I may get a chance to go see my mom.
We can
willing
be
to
on
go
the down
see
low if we need to.
He's willing to go see you. He's not willing to go see me. I have to go to him.
Yes.
That's the discussion he and I had the other day. I was like, so I'm going to be at a con in Florida in April. You should come down. And he's like, well, I can go to Pensacola. I'm like, no one goes to Pensacola. That's not a thing.
You got to work with me on this one, Tom.
So I'm like, so basically, Rob, you're just telling me I have to just go to Atlanta and stop.
Are you not driving through my neighborhood in order to get to where you're going?
I probably will.
I feel special.
But yeah, so those that are down in the Florida area, specifically like Tampa, Orlando, I will be at Suncoast Comic-Con April 23rd and 24th. I will be down there with Jen Broomall. I will be down there with Mike DeVolfo. I will be down there with Marissa Pope. And some other folks poking around. So if you're down that way, it'll be my first Florida appearance. Oh my God. Since the last time I was there at MegaCon with Nei, which is probably like 7 or 8 years ago. So no, false. I did appear with Jen for Free Comic Book Day about 5 years ago when I went out there and we were working on Lights Camera Jungle. It just happened to be Free Comic Book Day time.
Yeah, when are we ever going to get to use those magical discount cards that have miraculously never been used?
Remember how I just said I'm going to be at a con?
The one I'm not going to.
The one I can't get to.
I mean, you know,
Tom just ran the perfect scam. Here, use these. You use these anytime you see me, but we never get to see them.
there are people that have used them. I've seen them. They've come to C2E2 and all over the place, and they've had them on their lanyards. So some people have made it work.
So the next time I come see you in the warehouse at Jesse's, I can just have a free for all.
I don't even know when I'm going to be at the warehouse.
And honestly, if we want to talk compromise, Tom, I've seen you the last 4 times I've traveled to you.
That's true. Well, you didn't travel to me. You traveled to where I was. There was no, I'm going to see Tom. It was, I'm going to work. Oh, Tom's there.
Why can't I get business and pleasure?
Of course.
Hey, I got Red Lobster out of the deal, man. I'm not complaining.
This is true. He got the doghouse experience. Yeah. For sure.
And I will tell you, I went to Red Lobster a couple of weeks ago with my my roommate. We went down there before we went to go see Spider-Man, and menu's totally different. Half the stuff's gone.
Oh sure. Oh yeah. It's definitely a COVID menu for sure.
There's like 5 things on it. How do you find something?
The key elements are all there. Plus, you can always do your like build a plate or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely slimmed down. The last time I went in there, I bitched at him. I was like, "Where the hell is the chocolate cake? There's no chocolate cake on this menu." They're like, "Yeah, I know, it's gone."
I want the chocolate cake.
Right. Yeah.
No, I'm excited to go back to cons because, like, me and my daughter, we have had Princess versus Zombies for over a year now. The costume's ready to go.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And we haven't had a real chance to use them because I'm like, I'm not going to waste my big reveal at a little hometown. So we are going to Planet Comic-Con, and so I'm planning on doing it there.
And how are we all supposed to get together and play Fight Your Friends?
Will you share which characters you're going to be?
Oh, yeah. Tori's Belle, and I am Miss White, and then Mike is our zombie.
Yes.
So we're missing a princess. Like to point out,
If I could get down there, I would. But
You can do it, Shawnee.
You're missing 2 princesses.
I saw Steph on here earlier.
You got Pocahontas too.
Oh yeah,
loves that chick.
That's true.
Steph is sexy.
Mr. Smithers, Mr. Smithers, you have the link if you are interested.
Come join us.
in dropping in. You have got the link. If you don't have the link, just tell me. But I know you have the link because I sent you the link. Yeah. So Trish has her. Well, tell them what the book is, Trish.
Brink and Fetch, Just Want to Have Fun is a supernatural rom-com, basically, is what it is. I will tell you guys, as I told Shawnee, be warned, it looks all sexy, but it is fun, and there is a little bit of horror, but it is definitely a lot of fun.
So what you're telling us, it's the exact opposit of a Jim Noble book.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. Jim Noble books aren't fun and are all sexy. Is that the determination?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
So it is a 20 plus years combination of Mike playing this character in many scenarios, different role playing. He has always had a version of Brink and bringing her to life. So, I mean, it's not like Mike thought of, oh, I can do a superhero. That's been done plenty of times. So something that he knew dear to him.
Yeah, everybody's copied me on the superheroes. I mean, it's just out of control. It's just out of control. Tom does a superhero. Everybody suddenly does superheroes. Jeez.
And sexy and fun. Sexy and fun is a good building point for us to start our comic empire on. So as soon as we get a few more issues, Mike wants to introduce another title. I want to introduce my own title that I'm working on too. So
cool.
Damn, yeah. They don't even have a book out yet, and it's already an empire.
I love it.
This is.
I have great
large plans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I actually like too that when creators go through and you have you want to get the initial book out, but knowing that there will be more coming, that you've already thought out, put some thought into that, and have a plan for future issues and an arc or whatever. That's exciting because sometimes I'll get one book really cool, and I'm like, and then it's like, where'd it go?
No, and see, that was
So
the thing I
Amelia.
wanted to make sure people knew. We're already working on issue 2.
Awesome.
Chuck's got the script, and you know we're
Yay.
they're finalizing their thing because I don't get involved until after it's drawn up. So they're doing their thing right now, and hopefully we'll be starting on that within the next month after we get everything off to the printers. And my printer's local, like down the road from me, like 10 miles
Better
down
yet.
the road. So I want to show pictures of it being printed off on the machine, and then like them handing it to us and bringing it home to ship it out.
Trish, is yours still going, or did yours end already?
I have 5 more days.
5 more days.
Ends on the 14th.
There's so many things moving right now. It's hard to keep track of what's active and what's not.
Yeah, this month is a little insane for everything else. But the
It
important
went a little
ones
cuckoo lala,
are-
and I'll
are
tell you that
PDI.
March is not looking to be any less cuckoo lala,
noticed
based
that.
on what I'm hearing. So yeah, and I will admit to being part of the March Madness.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from your last Ursa campaign. Thanks, Tom. That was what, a year ago, and I'm still digging out.
Well, Rob, start saving some dimes.
No more backing for you. You're done.
Start saving some dimes.
Well, that's
all I
why.
know. All I know is that March is my birthday month.
Me
so-
too. Me too. Me too.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, all of us, we're all March babies. So
How many Aries? How many
keep that in mind,
Pisces?
Tom.
Well, that's ridiculous. What are the dates?
I'm 22nd.
Somewhere between the 1st and the 31st.
Trish is the 22nd. I'm the 25th.
So you're
I'm
all
right
in the
between all
20s
of
too.
you.
That's crazy, man.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I'm smack dab in the middle.
Well,
Right
we'll be
down
launching right around your all's birthday, right in that birthday spot. We'll be launching some stuff for.
So
for
Tom's
Ursa
about
Minor
to
for
announce
March.
a 60% birthday discount for March. Doghouse discount of $300 a book.
Yeah.
But it's too bad that we don't charge until April,
I
so
hate
it
you.
all falls apart.
I'm okay if there will be all of a sudden a surprise goodie in my rewards package. I can
I
delayed
see, I
delayed
see.
gratification is fine by me. So
Oh, okay.
You give surprise goodies.
Now she's thinking outside the box. She's thinking outside the box. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go later March, but there's
Are you
a
going to go
bunch
30
happening
days
now.
on this one?
No.
so shorter one.
I never listen after this monstrosity of a campaign that I'm in right now. I never want to see 4 weeks again on a campaign. Like I never
So you're going to go
ever
6.
want to see 4 weeks again. It's nightmarishly frustrating.
You know, people get
to
2
have.
checks in a 30-day time frame.
Yeah, but
At
you
least
can do
most
that in
working
your backer.
folks.
You can do that in your backer kit. You can add on later. You can always drop in on the backer kit. Get whatever you can get up front, and then you can backer kit later. But when you have 4 weeks of a campaign, you literally have a dead week, which we had. We had a literal dead week, almost 10 days of just nothing. I shouldn't say that. Not nothing. We did have people come in, but we had people equally dropping out. So it was like, hey, $300. Oh, $300. Oh, $300. Oh, $300. It was just like, holy crap. And that was the entire week. So it was a really, really kind of frustrating period of time. And when we do 3-week campaigns, we really don't have that. It's just a
Interesting.
tighter, you get it a little bit, but really it just feels like that 4th week is just mind-numbingly like you lose momentum. It's just like there's nothing going on. Everybody's
Just
dropping
kind of,
out, coming in. Exactly. It's really hard to maintain the momentum. So, and I saw that with the comics too, and that's why I shifted the comics to 3 weeks. And all of a sudden, we started to see this sort of like a sense of urgency to it.
See, that didn't happen with us because we hit and then we just kept.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
sure.
pretty-
You
it was
keep
pretty
going.
Steady. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. We didn't have somebody drop out.
And that's
or-
good.
You know what I mean? But it was always a steady climb of even every day. If it was not a cover, it was they backed the digital tier or they just threw money at us, you know, or put $1 in. It was always something every day. So
That's
it
good.
just has, you know,
Yeah.
which
And the same with
like
us is
steady.
we creeped but when you look at the dropouts that we had, it's like we should have done 500, but we did 72, because of the dropouts. This is like, ugh. You can't, there's no way to be like, we're at this number, because you're not anymore. Now you're back down because somebody dropped out with a big thing. So it's very hard to kind of keep the emotional flow of it all. It's just, it's not so cuckoo, and I don't like it. We really, the only reason we did it 4 weeks with this campaign is because it was such a big number that we needed. I kind of felt like we probably needed it, but we did 30,000 in 2 weeks. And I was like, dude, we should be at 5 by the end of this third week. And by the end of that third week, we had barely made any headway. And so I was like, okay, this is nuts. But now we've turned it back around. We've had people dropping in now. We still have some dropouts, but we've had a lot of people joining us. A lot of people just doing some add-ons. So it's been really good. I mean, we're only like $1,500 away now. $1,400 away now.
14.
Somebody else just came in. Yeah.
Yep.
1,300.
1,300. Just shy of 13. Yep.
Yeah. Just had somebody else drop
Come
in.
on, Rob. Rob's got a pledge still. Come on, Rob.
Tom's pledging right now. I can see his fingers moving.
It's Mr. Smithers. He's doing secret stuff in the car.
So Smithers, I have to tell you,
I
this
just got
brings
off
back old memories.
Really?
So every time I talk to James, he's in the car. When he was working at Taco Bell, he was in the car. What are you doing? Buying comics?
In the car.
That's pretty much
that's right.
it.
I didn't mean you had to get in the car and jump on, dude. You can go home.
It's like a 12-minute drive home, so I just thought I'd jump on now.
We're here for another hour and a half. Just go home.
Go home.
Go home.
Get comfortable.
Go home,
Go
Smithers.
home. Thanks.
I want to see Buddy anyways. Buddy's more important than you. Turn off your camera and go get me my buddy.
Ooh, you've been given marching orders.
He's probably sleeping.
And be awake when you can.
Oh,
Good
that's
round.
that sweet woman Trish. I gotta go see my buddy Trish. She always gives me hugs and loves on Facebook.
Just set up a dog camera so he can just take his own picture and put it on Facebook.
That would be cool.
So how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good. Just like I said, just stressing out on this campaign. But that was a nice little thing to see. It was a couple of little bumps up.
So I'll tell you,
Well, it's
any
nice
chance
to
we
see
get
you
to
were
watch
like,
Tom
what?
stress is a good night.
You were like 2,600 last night. Now you're at 1,300.
We're at 13. Yeah, 12.99 technically. 12.99.
Tom, throw another 100 on there.
Throw another 100 on the Barbie. Yeah, so that was good. We've had a good day. We did have some dropouts today, but we've had a good day, so that's good. I mean, I really wasn't concerned. I knew we'd have a reasonable final week. I knew we'd make the goal, but I just want to make it before Saturday, so that Saturday when I'm at the con, I'm not just sitting on my phone click, click, click.
Refresh.
Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
Okay,
Yeah.
if it doesn't reach your goal, are you gonna relaunch it in a month or two?
No, because we've already got the rest of the year planned out with all the Ursa Minor books and the Goth Day and all that kind of stuff. So there's not really a spot to shift and adjust. I mean, theoretically we could, but it would be very, very difficult.
So Tom, that's a question I've always been curious about. If a Kickstarter fails, I'm not saying this is you're close, it's going to happen, but the first Critter Kickstarter you did tanked. Right, it didn't hit the bottom line. How soon can you relaunch the same Kickstarter after that?
Technically, anytime you want. They don't care. Kickstarter.
There's no time limit on it. You can just relaunch it again.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it took a really long time for you to put that back out.
Well, I never put that back out. I never put that one back out. The first Kickstarter that I did for Critter was for the trade paperback, Volume 5.
Right.
It wasn't Critter number 21. It was number 25. It was the volume number 5. And so we did that, and that was another one of those situations where we actually were doing okay, but it was like we hit this lull of backers and so on. And I was like, I don't think we're gonna make the goal that we needed. We'd made $6,500 or something, and we needed $12,000 2,000, or I don't remember what it all was about. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to stress over this. And so I actually had just canceled it. I just,
Okay.
we had like 2 weeks left or something, 10 days or something. And I was like, yeah, now let me just knock this off. And
So
we'll come
cancel it,
back to it at some
reassess.
point.
And then the next one funded right away.
Yeah. The next one was just the regular issue. It was just the issue number 21. So that was easy to do. And since then we have done trade paperbacks within the campaigns. So like we've done that with Penny for Your Soul. We've done that with Oz now. So we found a way to kind of, change the system in a way. So at some point when we get back to Critter, we'll probably do the same thing. And we'll have the trade paperback for Volume 5 be part of the campaign as a large stretch goal,
Well,
just like we've done with the other ones.
A
Did you
trade
send your
paperback
email
must
to
be
the-
harder to fund because you only have the one trade paperback. It's not like you have multiple covers or whatever.
Well, we did multiple covers, but the problem there were multiple problems with it. There were a lot of problems. It was early in my Kickstarter career. It was doing a what's up, Mr. Noble? It was doing a Volume 5 when people didn't know what the book was at that time. I had no momentum. It was just, we're just kind of throwing stuff against the wall at that point. So there was a lot of things that I did wrong with that campaign, and I learned a lot. And that's where we came back around a few years later, or I guess maybe a year later or two, with Penny for Your Soul. And I was like, okay, now I kind of feel like we got this. I understand how this works. And then we started to build. And then when we had Penny for Your Soul, we did the Volume 3 as Volume 3 as a big stretch goal. So everybody that spent like $75 got, the
Right.
trade paperback within the context of funding all of this stuff. And then we did it again with Oz. So that's kind of proof of concept that we can do that, which is great. And so when we get back to Critter, just doing the comics, there was no way to put it as part of this. It would have been an astronomical number for us to achieve. But when we get back to Critter, we'll have that opportunity to get that 5th volume in play, and we're working on that. We got to do that. We got to put that into play. We got to put Penny for Your Soul Volume 1 into play. Get that back into print. And then we got to get Volume 2 of Ursa Minor into play. So that'll be actually one of our stretch goals during this campaign period, probably during during issue 3. We'll probably have that as a stretch goal to get Volume 2 collected and out to people too. So there's a lot going to be going on this year, man. This is going to be a lot going on. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So I hope you all are ready for it. It's going to be wild. And so actually we also have one of the things, we're going to show you some Ursa Minor stuff here tonight, is over on Patreon, which I always forget to put this dumb thing on that has like, there we go. All the little things,
The
We're
links
all
and all that
go to
stuff.
Facebook,
too,
go to
aren't we?
Patreon, go to BDI Comics, all that kind of stuff. There's all of our social media. I never put that thing on. Over on Patreon, we have a poll going for our VIP members, where they can name, just like we did with Beauregard a couple of years ago with Oz. We have a new vampire character in Ursa Minor who's debuting in March, and she needs a name. So there's actually a poll running right now over on Patreon, and it just started. I think we have like 10 votes so far out of the 20 people that are in the VIP level. So if you guys are interested in being part of Patreon, just go to Big Dog Inc. or go to patreon.com/Big Dog Inc. and you can jump on Patreon. You can see all the stuff early, and you can do things like vote on these characters.
I'm with Freddie.
too.
Oh, what did I miss? I missed a Freddy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to save money on months like this when everybody has a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I get it. I do.
I've had to be strategic, which is not normally in my nature. So this has been really a
It's
study
been
in
pointed
going.
out to me that I am no longer a completist.
Yeah, I had to give that up. I had to give that up a while ago. I was like, wallet. Okay.
I mean, it's you got to make a choice nowadays. I mean, it's tough when everybody you know and you love that you want to support putting out a Kickstarter, and you love to back everything, and you just can't. I mean, I don't know about you, but I got a powerful need to eat once in a while.
Yeah, I'm big on the food thing, and yep, the whole thing. And
you can eat like a king on the dollar menu at most fast food places. This is
But
all
can
I'm
you
saying.
keep the lights on,
I
the
mean,
gas on, get the trash taken care of, and the water?
Well, all you said was you wanted to eat. That's all you said.
Let's just throw it all in perspective. Apparently, tonight we've got to throw all that shit on the table.
This whole being an adult thing is just, I'm not digging it.
Yeah, adulting sucks. Let's just put that in perspective.
It really does.
You're eating at the wrong
an adult
places,
to help me
Noble.
adult.
There's
It's like-
dollar menus everywhere. Trust me.
Noble, why
I go
are
to
you not in
McDonald's
this room
almost
with us?
daily. Get yourself a couple of McChickens and a Coke. It's $3.
Dude, I could eat King.
No, McChickens are $1.29.
But when I go to McDonald's,
Not where I'm at.
I completely stop expecting myself.
Where I'm at, they're $1. It's $1 for those. It's $1 for the Coke. So and then there's tax. So it's $3.29 for my McDonald's.
Just saying, $1.29.
I'll hoof my ass down to McDonald's and with a G-string full of ones that I got from the club the night before and go get a Big Mac.
Well, let me show you guys.
There's a mental image.
So you missed it, Smithers. I was telling everybody.
Something for you to dream to tonight, Shawnee.
I have more
For my
things to look
stretch
forward to when you come to California, right?
That's Rob's new job. That's what he got. He's down at the strip club every night.
Now on center stage, Jasmine.
So we're going to show you guys a little bit of Ursa Minor stuff here. So now some
Yes,
Rob,
before I say more stuff, I'm going to humiliate myself with.
good portion here, or some of this you guys have seen, of course. We're talking about the vampire character. This is the new vampire character, making her debut in Ursa Minor #6, launching in March. This is the character everybody's voting on right now for her name. So if you would like to be part of the vote, you are welcome to join us, patreon.com/BigDogInc. This is also new series artist. So this is what the interiors will look like as well. This is not just a cover. This is the actual interior artist as well. Fabio Simao. So if you guys want to check him out, he is on Facebook as well. I know Rob went and friended him up last night.
And Tom, thank you very much for selling me this piece right away so nobody else can ask. It's already locked up.
You can keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. In fact, Fabio messaged me. He was like, Rob Schiff just friended me. I was like, yeah, I know who that is. I was like, oh, he's a good guy. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
He immediately asked, you work for Tom? No, I don't work for Tom. Tom works for me.
That's right. That is correct. So, Fabio's doing a great job. The book actually is already almost done. He's super fast and does an amazing bit of work. So that's the cover. That'll be your A cover. That'll be your basic standard cover. You'll have the Ursa Minor logo and all that kind of stuff on it as well. But yeah, that is how that starts.
Your Ursa Minor is going to go at the top, or
yeah, basically it's going to cover up the dude a little bit there. So
that's just going to be a virgin cover, right, Tom? Because you don't want to blur that out with Ursa.
Funny you should mention that.
I know how you think.
Funny you should mention that. One of the things that we're going to do this time around is, in the past we've done homage covers to horror movie things, and so that it's gotten so played out. Everybody's done everything, and I'm like, I'm kind of over it. But What I do really like, and part of my comic book collection that I've been doing over the years, is a lot of the old like 60s and 70s horror comics, and I love all of the old graphics and logos and just the cool pop that those things gave. And so what we're actually going to be doing is all the covers are going to exist in two formats. You're going to have one that is the virgin cover like we normally do, but you will also have the version, and we're going to show you kind of an example here. This is Mike DeBalfo's cover. It's kind of light pencil. Hopefully you guys can see it, but it'll give you guys the idea of kind of the logos that we're doing as well. So here is Mike's cover. And we have all of these old school logos that are being done by Ed Loveley. He has done like 6 of them for us. They're all super fantastic. And so each one of these covers will have the logo version, and then there will be a modified virgin version. So this is actually Mike DeBalfo's cover, and then we're going to have Ula Moss is going to be coloring that one. So that'll be super cool.
There's a dynamic duo.
For sure, 100%. Yeah, it's like I messaged her and she was like, I don't know if I have time. I said, it's Mike. And she said, okay.
You said the magic word.
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it. Basically, anytime I say it's Mike, she's yes. It doesn't matter if it's Chrome or DeBalfo. It's Mike. It's
One
yes.
of the mics. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. So there's our old school Vampire Love logo cover there. And then I've got a few of the other covers here. Some of these aren't exactly put in place yet, but we have all of the pieces. So we have the Lost Girls, of course, based on Brian Peterson's cover from last time, The Lost Girl, on the carousel. So we'll have the Lost Girls logos.
Makes Trish happy.
It does, because they're both up on my mantle with my medals. So yes,
Lost
that's
Girls.
Kind of, you were like, oh, I don't know if I'm homaging. I was like, no, I love the homage covers.
Well, tributes are different from homages. Like even the one that we did for Lost Girls last time, that was just based on the Lost Boys environment. It wasn't like a true, like, we're taking this picture and making it an homage out of it. Yeah, I've come to enjoy the tribute elements more than the homage elements. So yeah, so the Lost Girls, this will be Brian is going to do Lost Girls again for us.
Yes.
So we'll kind of continue the trend with that. We have got Lair of the Lycanthrope.
Oh, fun.
So this will be our Werebear cover.
Hence the Werebear Adventures along the side there.
That's correct. Correct. You don't miss anything, do you?
Try not to.
Yeah, Smithers is in his car. Yes, Smithers is chilling in the car. That's correct.
Hey, the car has comfy
I thought
seats.
it was only
so
a
why not?
12-minute drive home.
Then we have, so this one is actually going to be Nia Rufino's
I'm driving
cover.
as we're talking.
She's doing the April the Witch cover, and so we have this. She's a witch logo.
Cool.
That's cool. I like that.
This one took a while. Ed and I had to kind of really figure this one out. So I'm really happy with everything.
Was it the letter style or just trying to figure out how
it was we kind of got the font, I guess you'd call it. We kind of got that pretty quickly, but he had it in all white. And I was like,
the effects.
It feels too stark. Yeah, like it feels like it's just going to be too bland. And so we were really trying a lot of different ways to kind of put a little texture in. This was actually the last one he did. He did this one just like, well, let me just try this one. And I was like, that's it. That's the one. So it was literally the last one that he did just sort of for fun. And that's the one that we stuck with. So yeah, I think it came out really good. And then the other one, there's another one that I didn't load. I'll see if, oh no, it was of course it was this one. We already have the Empire Love. And then we have this one, the Rave Yard. MR Gunn is going to be doing this cover. If you guys remember him, cool. MR has done one cover for us. It was the Catnip cover from the original Goth Day. He's been doing stuff for Mr. Noble, et cetera, et cetera. So the Rave Yard is actually going to be 3 connecting covers. Each one will be released during each of the campaigns through the year.
Damn it, Tom, you and your connecting covers.
At least it's not. At least it's not 7 like we did with Mr. Kincaid out there.
Yes, which I have all 7, thank goodness.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was
So the Rave Yard will be 3 covers.
Okay.
Again, not in one campaign. It'll be throughout the campaigns.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
for sure, I know we need the Rave Yard. We got to have where it says the witch, and then we got to have the one that's for me for my vampires.
Monsters, exactly. Yep.
I'm like, okay,
You're
that's a
already.
lot.
So.
Right.
We know who the completionist are in the room.
Well, I've noticed, Tom, you do, even though you're spreading this one out for the connecting covers, it's like Brian did, of course, the 360s. Princess Ghost. So
Brian did the 360s, correct?
Right.
Yes.
So it's like either 360s or it's connecting covers. It's like, I like the concept. Dang it.
Yeah.
Killing me.
The 360s are cool. We don't want to do them every time that we do one of these things.
Yeah.
But
You want to keep them special.
For sure. Yeah. You want to find the right moments to do them. And maybe down the line we'll do a 360 Lost Girls thing with Brian on these, but it's just sort of a feeling. But this is one of the things where we talk about asking the buyers, like, what do you like? And invariably they talk about connecting covers. Like, that never ceases. Like, for every time I hear one person talk about a lenticular cover, I've already had 10 people ask me for a connecting cover. And I'm like, that's easy, man. We can do that. That's no problem. And then we have had some folks asking about doing gatefold covers again, because we did that for Princesses versus Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of like, I can do that, but it seems weird because we're having to fold the covers out versus just stick them together. So I don't know. It's always kind of a let's try it this way this time and see how it goes. But the connecting covers always seem to be super popular. So
they are. They're like, well, I like puzzles, and so it's kind of always fun to see. And every now and then I found, I don't want to say hidden, but sometimes I get covers and I'm like, wait, these actually kind of go together. So, look at that. Surprise. So
Smithers, you're going to go in for $1 deep on this campaign, right? Because you're just going to wait for it to hit the doghouse sales and clean Tom out.
What was that? Say it again.
I said you're going to go $1 for this campaign for Ursa, just because you're going to wait for it to hit the doghouse show at a discount and clean Tom out.
Unfortunately, I don't do it that way. Sometimes I don't get all the covers and I buy them on the doghouse, but.
Well, of late, we've been having covers that are selling out too. So you got to be
the problem.
Well aware of that. Just the last Oz, I think, had 2 sellouts for sure, and one was really, really close. And I'll have to see what the backer kit looks like.
It'll show up on a doghouse show somewhere.
Well, we get a few, but
there's no guarantees. Yeah,
it's
like there will be a warehouse find somewhere.
It'll take
look
like
at this.
2 years, probably digging through a box and be like, oh, where the heck did these come from?
Haven't seen this in 20 years.
Like you did before.
And it won't be $20 at that point either. I'll tell you that.
Then you'll be hemming and hawing like.
When is anything
ever
$20 anymore?
It's got a spine tick, then then we'll get you a discount. It's like we had. I just found a few of those. Carl Liversidge Princesses versus Zombies that had sold out, but they were all damages. So damages pop up from time to time. But
when you do your orders, do you order like so many extra just in case of damages?
Yeah, I have to in case of some damages. Because here's the thing: when we go to the printer, there's always damages, because when we get them, they're packed. I don't have a pack, but basically they're packed in like 10, right? And then they're shrink wrapped. But 9 times out of 10, that top cover has those spine ticks because they're just grabbing the pack, and it's like their thumb is like, and they're putting that tick in there. So 9 times out of 10, that's where those spine ticks come from, and we just have to account for that, set those aside. And so if we know we're making 150 of them, that's 15 packs, that's 15 damaged books, and we have to account for those damaged books. So we usually do 120. Or 150, and then we do 20 more. That way we avoid the damages. That way we avoid if someone has damages in their mail, like if we send it and there's damages, or if it just gets lost in the mail. That's why there's occasionally we've got 5 or 6 left over at some point, because we just had those overages.
how do you account for the ones like when the ones that are to order? Because I know same sort of deal. I would imagine, even though they're much more limited.
Yeah,
I mean,
same
is it just
deal.
a percentage wise? You just kind of eyeball it.
Yep. If we got orders for like 17, we'll probably do like 5 extra. Because the artist will get a couple for comps on those really low print runs. They'll just get a couple of comps, and then that'll leave us with 3 or 4 in case of problems. But with the foils and stuff, Anthony Delaney and those guys, they don't mess around. So the way that they handle the books, the way that they ship the books to us, there's almost never any problems. So it's super tight, super clean on those things. So we really only have to get like 4 or 5 extras and we're solid. Whereas if we're doing a large print run and we know they're coming with that top one damaged every time, it's like, well, shit. It's just the way it is.
I don't know if Anthony, maybe he does, but I don't know if he gets enough credit, enough shout outs for the amazing work that he does. Like you said, he and his crew they really take pride, from what I've heard, in what they try and do. And I know, as a fan and a collector, I truly appreciate that dedication.
Yeah. And if something does go wrong, they're on it. They're just like, we got it fixed, done. So yeah, no, they're great. Artist Express, Antonio D, they do a fantastic job. They do almost all of our stuff. So like if you guys get trading cards and stuff, they do all of those cards. The stickers come from Sticker Mule. I use them for Sticker Mule. And then the poker chips obviously are from the poker place, but all of the mini prints and the foils and all that kind of stuff, that's all Antonio, and they do a great job. So
just wanted to give him a little shout out.
No, absolutely. Cannot complain at all. So
can I ask a question as a new person, or whatever, however you want to put it? So we're only doing what we need and to get it out there, our books. We're not overprinting or anything like that. But because we know we're going on to issue 2, I want to do a connecting cover with issue 1 and 2 together. So do you think, as buyers or as a creator, that's fair? Or is that not fair that I'm only doing that for like continuing on?
No,
you know what I mean?
That's perfect, honestly.
You're fine. You're fine. We've reprinted, Critter #1, put a new cover on it. That's not an unheard of thing for your for these things. It's just not an issue at all.
Okay.
Not an issue
well,
at all.
I just didn't want somebody to feel like, well, why didn't you do that right away and have connecting covers on issue 1? And I'm like, well, because I don't got nothing to connect it with yet.
Sure. You're gonna make sure one is successful, and then
right. Yeah.
And I think that's cool too, because then that gives people a chance. Not only is it a fun connecting cover, but then as you go through, if you reprint, then again, people who maybe didn't get a chance to get #1 now have, I can get 1, catch up, and 2 in a connecting cover, and that's just kind of fun. So
I think the only pushback you might have is that the people that have #1 without the connecting cover will be like, well, why do I want the 2 that connects to a cover that I don't have? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they would potentially just be like, well, just give me a 2 that is its own thing, that isn't, the super expensive version, because obviously they can do that. They can just buy a variant.
By the time book 2 comes out, Trish will be making retro foils of the first book.
I might go back. I was told by several other creators, because I asked, because Trisha wanted to make sure I did the right possible things and did everything right. And they all said on my first issue, do not do metal foils or hollow foils or any of that other stuff, because you want to make sure you get the biggest bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Right. And just do something normal. And then maybe issue 3, you can start doing, go back and
a little crazy.
Yeah. If you want to do some metals and reprint them in metals or something on issue 3, but definitely not issues 1 and 2.
You'll be able to roll the take from issue 1 into issue 2, and hopefully kind of branch out and expand what you're doing. So
get a good foundation going, and then
right.
Get your fan base settled too, and then
right. That's why I was like, issue 1, if I did it as on issue, because how like on the Kickstarters they're like, well, you can catch up with issue 1. I want it to be something fun. If you're going to get issue 1 and 2, you might as well just get the connecting covers and make it pretty.
Yeah, but that's only focus. The only trick there is you're focusing on the new people only. you're not giving the people that were at number 1 a number 2 for them. That's the only potential weird idiosyncrasy that I can see with it, is if they're buying number 2 and it's not just all I would say is make sure that number 2 is very much its own cover while connecting at the same time. If it's too hyper crossover, then the people that are buying number 2 after buying number 1 will be like, well, I'm not getting the whole piece. To, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like issue, if I do it like issue 1 is just Steph Wilson's house, and then issue 2 will be the bushes where me and Lewis are hiding there and peeking out. You know what I mean? So all you're getting is Steph Wilson's house on issue 1. It's like, okay, it's a house. It doesn't mean anything. And then issue 2 is the cool one.
We all know Steph doesn't draw straight lines. That's not going to work.
Or backgrounds.
Not going to work. There, yeah.
Or backgrounds.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, that's the only thing that I would say maybe is a little weird. But yeah, you definitely want to have number 1 available for people that didn't get it the first time. 100%.
What do you do with Lewis?
100%.
Does a 4-issue connecting set on the same issue?
Yeah, Lewis did. Yeah.
Yeah, for us, when we do this stuff, we always overprint the number 1. Like, we know we're going to make 500 of them, whatever number we want to have, because we know we're going to have 2 or 3 other campaigns, and we're going to need those number 1s. And then same thing with number 2 by the time we get to the final issue, because we invariably will sell to people that didn't get it the first time. So 100% you want to have those number 1s available, or you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, because the people that missed it the first time won't want to buy because they can't get the first one.
And that's why historically issue 2s always have a lower print run.
But then I know there's people that are like, is that a first printing or is that a second printing, or what printing of the one am I getting? And then
it's a second printing.
But if a lot of people get mad about that, well, why can't I have a first printing?
Well, they can. You go get it on eBay. This is how comics work now. Nobody in comics is should be this new. If an issue 1 came out last month and you came in the month after, you got to go hunt it down. I mean, that's how comics work. So, you know, I mean, you might do yourself a favor. I mean, you got to look at your final sales. So let's say you sell 50 copies of that number 1. Just pick a number. I don't know where you're at, but let's just say you've made 50. So you made 50 copies, or you sold 50 copies of it. You could go ahead and make 100 copies of it and have those extra 50 just carry over to the next campaign. So you just have a print run of 100 and you carry those 50 over, like what we do. We do 500. We might sell 100 of them during the campaign, and we still have 400 for the next 2 campaigns down the line. So that's something you could do too, instead of worrying about the connecting pieces.
Yeah.
So, Tom, where do you stash all this in your house? You just continue to print.
Well, I can show you. I was
going to say, have you not seen the boxes stacked up?
Yeah, I have, but I'm eventually. When do you run out of room?
Soon. I mean, I can show you the cracks in the wall because that's too much weight in the house. I can show you the cracks. Like the house is telling me, "Yo, take this shit out of here." But you know, so yeah, there is a storage unit, yes, but it's definitely full. I mean, partially it's full just because of the collections that I bought, and they're just kind of random boxes in there. It's not all Big Dog Ink stuff. So I actually have 2 shelving units that I got that I have to put together and really finalize and organize everything that's here, and then the house will be happier. It'll be lighter. And you know, and then we'll be okay. I've actually was looking
about news stories about the house collapses on man.
Yeah.
Found in comics.
Yeah, local comic creator found at the bottom of his house, covered in comic books.
You put more shit in that house, they're going to have to cut you out of it.
It's close. Yeah, it's close. I mean, there's definitely like a path now. You have to take a path. Like, it's not like you walk up the stairs and you're just in the room. It's like you walk up the stairs and it's like, go here and this way and down. And, you know, it's a path. There's a path.
It's the BDI version of Hoarders. Yep.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
I'm glad mine was easy. I told my youngest, I'm like, honey, you're 22. Mama needs the room for comics. Get out now. Thank you very
You've
much.
got to be kidding.
Told you I loved you.
My comics need a spot.
I told her, I'm like, I love you, but I have no room to fulfill literally this. Yeah, and I'm like, I need the space for my comic book.
For my child, I love you, but not as much as my books. Get out.
Yeah, but she was cool with it. I mean, she just graduated, so I'm like, you can move out. So she moved in with our best friend.
Free. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, she moved in with our best friends that are our age, and she's like, okay, I moved in with my other mom and dad.
Hey, whatever works.
Rob, the question is, how do you with all your collection?
What happened?
Rob, how do you get around your house with all your collection?
The basement right now is in a reorganization state, but really my stuff is not that bad. It's horrendous.
He's just calling it like.
But it's like organized chaos because I know where all this shit is. Like I've been looking.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was looking for a book for December for about a month, just because I had so many boxes. I went upstairs and cleaned everything out, threw it all in boxes, organized it, and then it took me 4 weeks to find it. So I've got to go send it to her. I found it like 2-3 weeks ago, but I got to go send it to her now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It looks like it's chaos, but I know that box is that, and that box is that, and that box is that. So yeah. When we get store orders, I can just go right into the third box from the left of the coffee table. That's that box.
I don't know if I've got it down to that kind of a science, but I've got a general vicinity. So if you're like, hey, where's your Crow collection? I can go, hey, it's all the way in the back.
Well,
I know the 12 boxes, the 12 long boxes I have stacked in my room, my bedroom in the middle. That's where these comic books generally are. The ones in my closet, that's where I know where these books are. The ones in my other rooms.
I own stock in Post-it notes.
That's what I do. Like I have 80 Spider-Man, I have 90 Spider-Man, you know what I mean? And it's got and they might not be full, but at least I get Mike asked for Lethal Protector.
Yep. And I have all the regular ones, and I have art books over here and blanks over here, and so it's just.
So what I really want to do is I want to get CLZ or get into some kind of pattern. So I'm thinking of just inviting everybody down, and we'll just go through 800 boxes of comics, see what's there, and then alphabetize all the shit. I'll order pizza and beer, and we'll just have a good time.
I'm in.
So is that how you're gonna you're gonna do your books alphabetically?
I always used to do it because the amount of anxiety and OCD that I carry with me, what I have now, I want to claw my eyes out.
I have everything alphabetical.
Alphabetical.
Yeah.
By title.
Really? Oh, mine's by number.
Alphabetical by title and then by number. So
right.
Alpha Flight 1 through 129, Birds of Prey 1 through whatever.
Okay, okay. Because I thought he was.
Penny for Your Soul, the volumes.
We're all talking the same thing. It's all the same language. It just didn't come out the same way.
Yeah, I actually just went through my collection the other day. I was like, I think I need to thin this out, and then I started going through it, and I was like, no, I guess not. Apparently not. It's there's a few things in there. I have almost a complete run of Birds of Prey, the first series, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't even know how to go about moving whatever it is, 150 books or some crazy number like that. But I'm like, it's not taking up that much space yet. It's fine.
I did it from California to Vegas and from Vegas to Atlanta. So when I moved from California,
but you moved. I would have to ship it to somebody. And unless it's Smithers with his piles of large, priority boxes that he does every week.
So the story of my move from California to Vegas. I took a 27-foot truck. I took a 14-foot truck, and then I made 8 runs back and forth between California and Vegas with my Titan. And on one of the last runs were all my long boxes, probably the last 2 or 3 runs. And I got about midway, which is high desert. The tops ripped off because of the wind, and books went shooting out like a deck of cards in the middle of the freeway. So now I panic, pull into the center divider, I get pulled over by 2 highway patrol. Now, how do you get pulled over when you're already pulled over? That's a whole nother story. But the fight that I almost went to jail over trying to get my books out of the middle of the freeway on the 15 in the middle of high traffic in the desert.
Do you know what books you lost?
Did you lose any? Did you manage to get them all?
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea what I lost, and even if I didn't lose them and they turn up somewhere, I recollected them down the line anyway. It's just that's the OCD in me. It's like, gotta have it.
I had a landlord.
I love that story.
I had a landlord jack a box of my books once.
I
was so confused because I'm like, where the hell is this box? I don't understand. And turns out he jacked a box.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
had all my Marvel, Star Wars in it. I had all my Wolverines, the original Wolverine, right? I used to buy. This is a weird comic book story. I used to collect for the purpose of future investment but I didn't really do it a lot. But I knew a few things were probably going to be okay. So every time I went to the comic book store, and these were when comics were still like 50 cents. Wolverine #1 had come out, the ongoing series. So every time I went to the store, I would just buy another copy of Wolverine. Just put it away. It's going to be fine. I know
there's always a book you do that with.
That's right. And so I did it, and I put them away, and that was the box that got jacked, of course. And I had like 10 of them in there, So
when you saw that guy again, did you help that fucker fall down a flight of stairs?
Oh, I never saw him again. I never saw him again. Ever. So yeah. That was my one problematic thing. And it taught me too. It taught me like you got to not trust anybody. So yeah, I learned.
Yeah, I have very low trust in people.
Rob, what BDI book do you always buy when you see it?
So
what Big Dog Ink book do you always buy when?
Dude, I would continuously buy any Mayer book I came across and any Sanders book I found. There's to this day there's one Sanders book that I may have that I think I'm missing, and it's the Oz book.
Oh, the Oz #2.
Yeah, which I know I will never see at a reasonable price in my life unless somebody dies and wills it to me, which is a possibility. Hint to anybody out there that's planning on dying.
I haven't seen one of those.
I haven't seen one in forever.
Probably the last time I saw one. Yeah. I see the Mayors come up more than I see those.
Yeah.
So,
and it was
question.
Funny.
Sorry, what do you guys have every BDI book? Because we're missing one book, and Tom knows which one it is, and nobody can find it.
No idea.
What are you looking for?
Scarecrow.
What book?
Oh, that's right, the Scarecrow. That's right.
From the first runs.
She needs it. What do you need? A #2, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know, but that's the only one Mike is missing. I have looked on eBay.
Didn't you just sell that on Whatnot the other day?
Nope, I don't have one. I have some #1s. I don't have any #2s.
Okay.
Are you looking for the A cover, Trish? Either one.
It's Mike. It's Mike. A is fine.
But he
I'll take a look.
The B cover is Nei, if it matters.
Right.
Wait, you talking about the miniseries Scarecrow?
Yeah.
I have those.
And yeah,
maybe you have one that you would part with.
But somebody has said they would send it to Mike about 6 months ago.
Who? Was it me?
You did. I'm waiting for my Taco Bell coupons too.
Taco Bell and Scarecrow comics. Come on.
All right.
Smithers just got called out.
All right. It's like a chore to go through my books now because there's so many and they're so not organized. Like I remember I did it for 3 days when I took a last vacation. I'm just like, my legs go numb sitting on the floor or in a chair.
This is why we alphabetize, Mr. Smithers. This is why we alphabetize.
I was meticulous about that until I was buying collections, and now I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, yeah. One of the reasons I'm glad I don't have the money to buy collections because I don't.
When I started collecting again, I went from 50 comics to 200 comics to 500 comics, and then I jumped from 500 to 3,000 somehow, and I was like, what the fuck did I do? And then I started buying online. And that was even worse.
I'm not talking about the number of comics I have because that's just embarrassing, and I'm not going to do that.
Well, there's been times that I've shipped a couple hundred to you at a time. So
Yeah.
You've done some damage.
Tom, when I
like I said, I think I have I probably have 7 long boxes now. If I put everything away properly.
Only 7?
I mean, a BDI.
Oh,
BDI,
okay.
Only 7?
A BDI?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, even I have more
than
than 7 in a collection, and that's not BDI.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have a little over 20,000 books now, and I get yelled at all the time when more books are arrive. Like, where are you going to put all these?
That sounds about where I was at my peak. I think I had about 100 long boxes was my peak. And then, but of course, at the time, also I had a comic shop that I was running, so there was a combination of some of it's at the shop and some of it's just mine. But then 9/11 came around. I had to close the shop, and there was no place to put 100 long boxes of comics, so we had to sell them off, and it kills me now because what was in those boxes then is a mortgage payment now. Yeah. I mean, easily a mortgage payment now.
Yeah, but I mean,
on a good house, on a really good house.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you beat yourself up 20 years later over that when
you can't. It's impossible. You can't. Yeah. You can cry, but you can't be upset about it. At the time I got what I needed out of it, so I wasn't upset with that at all. But it's just it's one of these things where it's like, for so long comics and comic collectors and nerds and geeks or whatever, we fought to be the mainstream. We fought to be like, hey, we're just people, we just do this. You guys collect sports cards, we collect comic books. And it's taken all of this time now for that collection that I had to be, holy shit, that's my Bitcoin, basically.
You're talking about books that have been so overprinted that should be toilet paper at this point. Like, number one should be. No.
I'm not talking about stuff like X-Men #1.
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying it's gotten to that level. It's gotten to, I mean, you have books like your Wolverines are taken off, and your Little Protectors are taken off, and shit that it's like, okay, I get it, right? And it's about time. It's paid its dues. It's starting to come up. But there are books that are so overprinted and so mass produced and so gimmicked out, and you watch the collectors and the speculators just freak out over this shit. And you're like,
yeah, but the trick is not the book.
Sitting in a long box.
The trick isn't the book. The book is easy. Those books are all easy. The trick is the grade. The condition.
Yeah.
Because even when you have 500,000 units that exist, how many are truly a 9.8 or better, or even a 9.6? I mean, that's where it really gets crazy. Now, there's absolutely books out there that are going nutso, and there's not a reason for it. But generally speaking, it's, oh my God, here's a 9.8, Savage She-Hulk. Like, what? How does that happen? That shouldn't happen. It should be impossible. So
you got nerds like me that used to buy 5 at a shot, throw them in a bag and a board at the store, and then carry them home.
Sure, but those things have to come out of the collections. Are your books coming out of your collection?
When I drop dead, you guys can have a free.
See, this is what I'm saying. So these books are out there, but they have to come out of a collection. Yeah. They have to actually
it happens all the time.
Sent out.
But see, talking about that, the girls, they watch these shows and they're like, Dad, you got that book upstairs. Dad, you have 7 copies of that, and that's $1,000 book they're asking for. And he's like, and who do you know who's going to buy it?
Exactly right.
Because I'm not taking it out of my collection unless they buy the whole collection, and then they better offer me $3 million for my collection.
You're not selling. And if you do sell it, you've got to sell it privately, because if you take it to a shop, they're going to give you 30 cents on the dollar for it. So really, what are you carting around?
It's for
you're carting around something that you love and is personal to you that you don't want to let go of.
Yep. Right. Exactly. And that's what we told the girls. It's like, I said, you call Tom, you call Henri if anything happens to us, because please do not take those books to the local shop. Do not be dumb.
Yeah, don't take it to Henri either. Just saying, don't take it to Henri.
Okay. Well, I will put their, just go to Tom. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't want my
just
girls
pin a little note on it, like you'd pin it on their shirt, put a little pin a note on all the boxes. If needed, call Tom. Yeah.
especially the big boxes.
Well, I mean, Mike's got stuff from the 50s and 60s, you know, the first appearance of Avengers, and you know, I think he's got like a number 20 Batman or 21, I forget. I mean, there's some pricey stuff up there, but I don't want my girls taken advantage of. Is it going to be gone in my lifetime? No, but you know what I mean? When I die, I'm leaving that for my kids. That's for you and my grandkids to have a house, to have a life. It is our Bitcoin. But then you see people like trying to sell it for like buku bucks, and then these kids are like, "Ooh, this one book I can sell for this." No, because they're not going to offer you $1,000. They might offer you $200, you know, but they're not going to offer you $1,000 to sell them another copy of it.
So Trish, was it you that threw it up on the website yesterday that was saying, "Hey, look at the Shannon Mayer Oz"?
I think it was Trudy.
It was Trudy. So Trudy throws it up and says, "Here, you know, take a look at this book." The guy's looking for $2,300 for this book. There's no way on God's green earth he's going to get it. And no offense to Shannon, I love Shannon and Becky. The book's just not valued at that right now. But goddamn it, somebody's going to pay it, and then that's going to set the bar for everybody else to bust after it.
No one's going to pay that. The reason that thing sits at $2,300 is because it's a key piece. It's one of those things that is basically advertising for that dude, right? So he probably has a store that sells comics, and so he's got a key piece that he knows people search for. So if people search for it and they find his book,
they'll see what else he has.
Yeah, the price doesn't matter. It'll be, oh, well, I can't buy that, but he clearly has cool things. What else does he have? So
but
it's a marketing tactic.
Because if I see that, I won't go shop there, because if somebody's so overinflated and out of control,
but that's because but that's because you're a seasoned collector.
Exactly.
You have to talk about just the random people that are out there. Plus, he's also taking buy it now, so he could sell that thing and end up selling it for like $1,500, and you know, we'd never know. Well, we'd know if we go do the search for, you know, sold items whenever it happens to sell. But that kind of stuff is marketing. There's so many. We talk about the algorithms of social media. That is an algorithm. That's an eBay algorithm, is to have those pieces at a price that's so ridiculous that probably it's not going to sell, but it advertises your store. And if someone does happen to buy it, then, well, hey, you know.
Is that why that teacher's pet that I saw on eBay is now, what was it?
Well, the teacher's pet one has been in the $1,000 range for a long time. When it's graded 9.8, you know, not just a raw copy. But that one that one's always been pricey. Always. It's never been 1,000. It's moved upwards.
Although when I saw it last year, I was looking at, just out of curiosity, it was pricey, but I saw one for 500, one for 8. And so, and now all of a sudden, now I'm looking at it's like, and I'm like, I get it, but I'm like,
and we're in that key time of comics are crazy right now, so that's part of it. You know, we've talked about it. It's probably reasonably a $700 or $800 book at 9.8 just because there's only 100 of them. People aren't selling them. They're very rare to come around. You know,
you're talking CGC graded 9.8, right? Or you're talking actual hard case and capsule 9.8.
Correct. Not raw. Not raw. Actually, in the case, done. Yeah. I
mean, but you got to know when to look for it too, because like I know at the end of October there was one on eBay, and it was a 9.0, and they went at $450 for it.
Yeah.
So,
and I tell you what, at 9.0 for $450, I probably would have snapped that sucker up. When I bought mine a couple years ago, I think I paid $275 for it. And for me, it was pricey back then. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this, but it's there. I'm never going to see it again. I might as well pull the trigger. And you would just raffled off yours, the one copy that you had found. So I'm like, Tom just got rid of his copy. There's no more it's probably in the archive if it's even there. But now's my shot at it, and I went to war for it. And at that point, I got out of it cheap compared to what it's going for now.
No, you did. That's awesome.
And then at the same time, I was talking to Natalie, because I'm like, if I'm never going to find the book and all I've got is the metal print, what's the chance of walking away with the art? And Natalie was super awesome about it. So I wound up bringing the art home, and then brought the book home.
Yeah, she still has some Ursa Minor art up on her page.
She what?
She still has Ursa Minor original art on her page.
Like the covers?
Yeah.
What?
There's one for, It's the one where the girls.
Let's take this one offline. X-nay.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Anything is possible, good sir.
How is it possible?
Oh, did you see on our Kickstarter, we have the original art that's available that are from Justin Hunt.
You have that Steph Wilson original floating around anywhere?
No, nor would it ever float around.
Uh-huh.
But the Justin Hunt is original art. Is up on mine, FYI, with the 3 witches. Because people like original art. I just can't never part with Steph Wilson original art.
What?
I know, I'm weird.
Oh shit! I was gonna say there's no way that's okay. So that one's sold.
Seriously.
So
that
there's
guy's
actually
such a hack.
There's 3 up on Natalie's page. There's 3 available. There was a 4th. That one's sold. Interesting.
Which one sold?
Annabeth in the Coffin. So
Okay.
Ursa Minor number 6.
Yep.
Yeah, she doesn't have many left.
No.
I might snag that the one where the girl bites the other girl's neck. I want that cover.
So before
That's the one I
before she blew up, I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, she's so freaking talented; it's unreal, and super nice to boot. She had all Ursa Minor sketch covers that she was blowing out for like $15-$20 a pop.
Yeah, well, at the time she took a whole bunch of Ursa Minor sketch covers and was just knocking those things out for a while. Yeah.
So I think I have 2 of those, and I mean, they're never coming out of the collection.
Yeah. Yeah, you got lucky that you got that art when you did, because I was not in a position to get it, and I knew it was there.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I can't. There's nothing that I can do about it right now. And then you got it, so yeah.
So I will tell you, I was unemployed at the time, wondering how I was going to put rent together between the next gig, and it just came up at the right time, and I'm like, you know what? I guess if I have to go hold the sign, we'll work for food under a freeway overpass. I'm going to sleep on that damn art.
Okay.
You know, it's the stupid decisions you make at 3 a.m. because nothing good happens at 3 a.m. Turns out this is the one good thing that happened, but
Rob's one success story at 3 a.m.
One success story.
So weird question, Tom. Should I tell the girls to take all my figures to you too, from my original He-Man that I have, my original Star Wars, my She-Ra from the 80s, you know what I mean? All my original figures and everything. Should they come with you to you?
Is it boxed or is it just loose stuff?
Both.
Box stuff is pricey. Loose stuff
I know.
really kind of depends on,
Yeah,
how
but my
good it
Luke
is.
Skywalkers, I have 2 that are out. I know that they're like $120 a piece.
They can be. They can be.
The Star Wars market has gone insane. Star Wars, G.I. Joe, loose, box, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen. I know all that shit. I live in that world. It may not seem like I live in that world, but I live in that world. I mean, Scully is with me all the time here. So I got my Scully Barbie right there. So yeah, no, I know what's going on, and it's crazy because I remember being at Grand Rapids Comic-Con this past year, and just wandering through the toy sections just to see what was in there, and I'm looking at even loose stuff, and I'm like, God, motherfucker, I can't believe the prices on some of this stuff. And it's crazy. And then every now and then you find great deals on guys are just like, hey man, I'll work with you. Let's get this stuff out. So you kind of know that it's a bubble. You kind of know that there's dudes that are like really jacking it up, because there's almost an equal amount of guys that are like, yeah, but I'll give it to you.
Sundays
at a
always
better
used to
price.
historically be the best day for any show because nobody wanted to haul this shit home. Now it's like, fuck it, I'll take it to the next show and sell it on a Saturday.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
But see, that's true. Where I get my most benefit is because there is 3 thrift stores behind my house, and they all know me. So if they get comic books or older toys from the 80s,
They're paying you first.
Yeah, they know. ping me and I'll pay your premium prices.
Pick up the bat phone and call Trish.
It drives me crazy here in Michigan because I know there are at least 2 dudes that are on it when it comes to buying collections around here. It's like I am always a day late. And these guys are all, I'm just like, God damn it. I knew you were going to get that. And he got it. And just, it's like, oh, geez. There's apparently stuff all over Michigan, but I never catch it in time. So, you know, that's it. I had one, oh my God, I had a collection I wanted so bad. This guy was giving it away, absolutely giving it away. And I was like, dude, I will give you your grand. Just let's meet tomorrow. He says, fine, that's great. His wife comes home with a friend from work and sells it to that guy. It's like, no.
Rude.
You have
rude.
two collections near you on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, I look at Facebook sometimes. Facebook is sketchy. Facebook worries me. Near
Tom
where?
doesn't want to lose a kidney.
Yeah.
That's what I was just thinking. Tom goes for the books and winds up in a bathtub full of ice in a shitty motel.
I feel bad. Trish killed Tom.
I mean, I've met some folks, and I've gotten those books home, but
I'm Tom Hutchinson. This is the BDI Doghouse Show. I'm bleeding out in an empty
listen, we
bathtub.
literally met behind a Taco Bell one time. It was like, let's go Taco Bell. I'm just like, I might not come home. This could be
falling asleep in your car.
It's like I'm watching Casino, and you know they're going to bury the bodies out in the desert. Like, I don't know.
Driving out to the Taco Bell, how well lit is the parking lot?
Yeah. So what do you got, Trish? Be my spotter.
What you buying, Trish? You got hit by it now before Smithers falls asleep.
I got
Smithers in Wisconsin. He's not getting these books.
Listen, I don't have to work 4 o'clock tomorrow. I can drive somewhere.
Are you still driving? Or are you parked outside your house?
Sitting.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Oh, you're in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, my restaurant's like over there.
How's the new gig
I
working
got in my
out?
car, started driving. I'm like, oh wait, Tom's on, and then I'm happy that you guys are on, but I was like, I can't buy any books. Damn it!
I got a bunch of Wolverines for $5 a pop.
You got what?
Wolverine for $5 a pop.
I'll take 2.
Well, that was easy.
Rob's putting in his order.
I'll take 2 over medium.
He's on that Whatnot Comics, he's got 63 from Whatnot as a rating already. So, and he's only been part of it for 3 weeks. So,
what's the collection? What is
Wolverine collection?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Wolverine doesn't have boobs.
How do you find them?
No one cares.
You look up comic books under Marketplace, and then you find reasonable sellers that have the higher rating, and you don't do the ones that have no rating or less than 10. Vampirella, $10. I'm looking to see what there was. Let's see if I can find a really good collection.
Well, yeah, and it has to be a good collection for me to be buying anything at top dollar. Most of the time, it's like I'll buy, 30 boxes for super cheap, and just break it down, and it's just fun stuff, and then we see what we get.
Yeah, man.
I'm open to like buying Silver Age collections and all that kind of stuff, but that's just very rare that those things come around. Plus, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg right now because, like we talked about, most people know that what they've got for the most part, or if they don't know what they have, they know that it still has some value to it.
I get grief sometimes because, most of mine is technically modern comics. And they're like, modern comics, they're not worth anything. I'm like, yeah, well, 1, I like the art and I like the stories. And, so that makes me happy. And 2, I don't have the money to invest in silver and bronze and everything else. Realistically, if I'm going to spend that much money on something, I want a cover that I like and a story that I can read. So
Even the modern
it's all personal preference, but it's just,
and there is plenty of old comics that are in the dollar bin partner. So, you may have yourself a Hulk 181, but guess what? I've got 1,000 other books that I bought that I enjoy for the cost of your one book. So
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's just funny. People go like, oh, you collect? What do you collect? And I start talking about. They're like, oh, it's all modern stuff. I'm like, yep. So we'll be moving on over here to talk to this person because apparently you are not one of the cool kids. So
I have like, I don't think I really have any keys. Well, that's not true because I have like an X Factor collection. So I have like First Apocalypse and things like that. But that was just because I was buying the book. That wasn't because I went and bought the book. I was buying the series. Right. Like I have the first ElfQuest, that Fantasy Quarterly. I've got that. But again, I'm an ElfQuest collector, so I just have it because I have it. I don't really buy keys. I buy crazy weird stuff that I like the art and the old, like this is where all that stuff came from that we showed you with the Ursa Minor is buying like these things.
Yep.
You know,
those are fun.
This stuff isn't worth beans, but you know, I love all the old logos and it's just crazy fun stuff. So,
well, I sum it up for me is I buy for the entertainment and the joy and not for the investment. So
yes.
So
check Leonard's comment out really quick because he's spot on.
I've seen some comic groups on Facebook where people are trying to sell reprints at a higher price than the original second print. Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and it depends. There are, in some cases, some areas where the second print does have value because it's a lower print run. Sometimes they put a different cover on it. If it's just the same cover and just reprinted, it's like, who cares? But if they put a new cover on it and it's a lower print run, that changes the dynamic. If there's 10,000 of first prints and there's 5,000 of second prints, and people want whatever that cover is, that will change the supply and demand.
I imagine he's talking about reprints like New Mutants 98, where they just reprinted last year.
Sure, yeah. Sure, yeah, absolutely. There is that, and Marvel and DC have been doing these facsimile issues where they're the exact same book, just printed on modern paper or whatever. So there is some weird sketchiness within that kind of thing, and that's what we talked about. There are a lot of people that are not experienced buyers, and so there are folks that will just try and take whatever advantage they can.
Well, see, that's like at Walmart, you can go over there and buy a $10 pack, and it looks like you have a Spider-Man 300. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But it's like reprint number 978, and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not worth anything, but people without looking will like, oh yeah, $10, and then they take it to the comic book shop and think that they're going to make millions of dollars, and it's like, no, that's a Walmart reprint.
That is the other side of it. My friend who owns the local comic shop here, he's pretty good, and he gets things. People, I have this collection. He's, what's in it? And they talk about it. He's like, no, but they come in expecting, I have this, and they're expecting thousands of dollars. He's like, I don't need it. Like, it'll go in the dollar bins. So
yeah,
guys,
I was
right
at
Pawn Stars.
Yeah, go ahead. I was at Jesse James once, and a couple of girls came in. They're women. They were older, and they had a bunch of like Flintstones stuff from like Gold Key back in the day. But they were like really beat up. It wasn't like number one or whatever. But they were fully of the belief that these were worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars each because they were old. I'm like, no, it just doesn't work that way. Age is a factor, but it is not
the only factor,
the primary determining factor of anything. Yeah. And it kind of sucks when you try and educate people so that they know, but they don't want to listen.
They get indignant about it.
Yeah,
sure.
They think you're just trying to pull the wool over their eyes.
Yeah,
I had a guy come in with a Amazing Spider-Man 350, I think it was the foil. Venom versus Spider-Man. It's like the last time they're gonna fight, like that issue, and it wasn't even in great shape. It had like bent corners and stuff, spine, and I was like, yeah, this is, he was like, this is, I've seen this online for like $500, and I'm like, no, you haven't. This is like a $10 book, and I literally, I was like, I'm going to show you. So I went to eBay, I put the thing in, I sorted it by price. I found them starting at auctions for like 99 cents. I found some other things going for about $10. And I'm like, what you saw was this. Scroll down. Here's a 9.8 CGC. That's what you saw. That is not what you have here. But it's the same book. Yes, but it's not the same condition. You did not pay to have it encapsulated. People just don't know. And like, well, I already got an offer from this other store. I'm like, well, why
go for it.
Go get it.
Why are you here? Like, I was like, dude, run
in the ass on the way out.
I made him an offer, and he was like, "Well, I can get double with this store." I was like, "Listen to me, run to that store, take that guy's money, and never go back there again, because you will have just stolen money from him."
Yep.
He didn't like that. He didn't like that.
I love it when they show up with like 90s books, thinking they're old and they're worth a lot of money.
Yes. Yep.
And they're like, I've had so many people be like, "Oh, I have comics my brother gave me." And they'll bring them to me, and I'll be like, they're like, "Yeah, give me like $150 for them." I'm like, "You have 10 comics here, and they're worth probably about $3."
Oh, it's Youngblood #1. Yay.
Again.
Yeah, it was like Image and Valiant stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
People,
We're getting close to the end here, folks. I want to thank you all for hanging out. This was cool. For those that do the Midnight Collectors Club on Sunday, we're not gonna do the show because it's the Super Bowl, so we're gonna skip the Super Bowl.
Okay. Good. Do the
We'll be
show,
back.
skip the Super Bowl. We're good.
We'll be back next Wednesday with the Return of the Doghouse. Critter is live till Saturday night. It ends on Catterday, 11:45. I'll be live.
Make it happen, people.
Yeah, make it happen for sure, Mr. Smithers. Make it happen. You can make it happen.
I could.
Couple of keystrokes, Smithers. You could throw down $1,500 right now and
like
make it happen.
400, almost $500 right now.
We've actually just switched over to hours. We now have 71 hours to go. We're at $1,299 to go. So please check out the campaign. Dive in, get yourself a toy, get yourself some comics. Trish ends on Saturday, or sorry, ends on. So what would that be? Monday. You end on Monday then.
Monday late, because it's our first one, so we started in the morning thinking, we'll start. No, it's nighttime.
Good. Okay. Ends Monday night. Brink and Fetch. Go check that out. And yeah, that's what we're doing. That's sort of the public service announcements here. And I will be at a con also this weekend. I will be at Northwest Indiana Comic Con, just a little close, a little north of Gary, Indiana. So anybody that's going to be out and around, I'll be out there on Saturday. It's just a one-day show, but it's really fun. They bring a ton of people out. So if you guys want to come check out the con, come do it. And then I'll be at Suncoast Comic Con with Jen Broomall, Mike DeBalfo, Marissa Pope, April 23rd and 24th. If you're lucky, you might catch me when I'm in Atlanta at Red Lobster with Rob.
Canton, Georgia.
Yes, in Georgia. Well, I said Atlanta. Aren't you near Atlanta?
About 20 minutes out of Atlanta.
Okay, yeah. So Atlanta, it's close enough. I don't know any other cities in Georgia other than Atlanta.
You just pick a place. I will come find you.
I told you the place, Suncoast Comic Con. You didn't like that.
Yeah, that one's not going to happen. As much as I love you guys, as much as I love Jen and Mike and Marissa, it's not going to happen. But you can all come see me in Vegas in June. Huh?
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that con's going to happen.
You don't think? I thought they were making an announcement tonight.
No, I mean for me, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you go to Planet Comic Con.
No, that's the same. Well, multiple reasons I don't do Planet Comic Con, but not the least of which is it's the same weekend as Suncoast Comic Con. So I will be in Florida, and I know Kincaid is going to be at Planet Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why he's not at Suncoast, because it's the same weekend and it's in his backyard, so he's going to do that.
Makes sense.
But yeah, no, I've had people asking me to come to Planet for years. And I said, all you got to do is tell the promoters. They know who I am. I've been there before. But, oh, well. Suncoast messaged me. They were like, hey, you want to come to the show? I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay, let's make it happen. I'm like, okay. Like, it was that easy. Like, it's literally that easy. So, what can I do? What can I do? I can only do so much. So, I mean, literally, I think I only have like 4 cons this whole year. And that's assuming that they all go off without, COVID problems. So, And that'll include Oz in June in New York. And then Akron already has us set up to go back in November. And then I will actually be at Free Comic Book Day. First weekend of May, I will be first Free Comic Book Day in Detroit, Madison Heights, with comics and more, and Chris Brown out there. Who this will be my third time out there with him, so I appreciate that invitation. Again, he reached out to me. Yo, I'm not difficult to find, guys. if you want me to be part of whatever it is you're doing, right here, like all the time. So. Pretty simple.
Tom lives on Facebook. He says it himself.
This is not
I don't
difficult.
think I've ever seen Tom's Facebook Messenger say
Like
more
not
than
active?
like an hour. I think he wakes up in the middle of the night and checks his messenger.
Well, I'm up till the middle of the night. So by the time you guys are going to bed, like if you're like 3 o'clock, Tom's on. Yeah, Tom's watching a movie. Tom's just awake. You know, that's all that's happening there.
So are you watching Celebrity Big Brother by any chance? Anybody?
I saw the first episode and then I was like done.
Really?
I don't do reality TV.
Yeah, same
Me neither.
here.
Yep.
Well, no, just the MMA fighter is doing really well. That's why I was like, I didn't know if everybody. It's the girl MMA fighter. That's why I was like.
I mean, she's gonna walk away with it, or she's gonna get really close. I mean, it's the second they threw Chris Kattan on there, I'm like, all right, too much for me.
Oh no, dude, you need to watch him at night. He keeps they're getting mad at him because he keeps eating the cake. Like one of the other guests made a cake. So at night he's like sneaking in there like little mouse and he just keeps digging at the cake and he won't like put pieces and because they're like, that's not sanitary, but he keeps denying. I don't know nothing
the
about
shots
that
of him standing next to everybody else and he's like 4'0" nothing.
Mm-hmm. He looks rough though.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I was like, wow. I mean, I used to love him, you know, and then I'm like, what happened, dude?
And then you look at Todd Bridges, and Todd Bridges is just super happy all the time.
I just saw Malcolm Jamal Warner on some like hospital show, you know, from the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Theo?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's Theo. Where did he come from? Out of the blue, it's just Theo's on a TV show.
He was on Community.
Theo was not on Community.
Yeah, he was. He played Shirley's husband.
Oh, right. Small part. Yeah. Not like a regular. Okay. Yeah. You're right. I've tried to block out Community. That was a bad experience.
Yeah. My TV really consists right now of Mandalorian 2.5 and Book of Boba Fett and Peacemaker.
I'm just waiting to see what doctor let me go back to regular work. So I am so binged over everything right now. It's not even funny. I mean, the fact that I spent all day playing with smells. Is this a good panty smell? Is this a good bra smell? Like, and like I had all those different smells in my nose. I'm down to like 40 out of 120.
Trish, that cracks me up every time.
You're just sniffing?
Yeah.
You didn't tell that show. You didn't tell that story to everybody tonight. You told that before we all went on.
Well, yeah. Well, but Smithers wasn't here, so I'm telling Smithers. You know.
Well, I know what I'm saying is you just kind of led into it, but I don't even think I heard
Yeah,
the
you
full
needed
story.
to like I understood what you were doing because I know what you're talking about already. But everybody else that has no idea what you're talking about, they should just randomly smelling panties.
You just
I'm
went straight to the
panties.
punchline.
It's okay. Saturday, she thought a glazed donut was a penis, so we're all good.
Okay. In all fairness, I
confusing
didn't have
time.
my glasses on. It was, and I was sitting far back. It looked like somebody had.
No. It wasn't. It was a circle glazed donut, like a Krispy Kreme, not like a long John glazed donut. It was a
What
fucking.
do you
Krispy
all
Kreme.
do when I'm not around?
Oh, you got to get on
I think
Blast
you're
Pass on
finding out
Saturday
about
with
this.
us.
Yeah, this is
You
the
gonna do
Saturday
what?
night show, man. The Saturday night show.
But it did.
Rob's
It
like,
looked like.
Rob's like,
it
that's
had-
when I do my best murdering. I can't get on.
I forget what Mike said that it would look like the hole looked so big. Like if you did
You could
actually
shit out of it. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said you could shit out of that hole. Then he said, if you pee through a hole like that, you're gonna lose your nut. Those are the two things he said. But when you said that, we all just got quiet and just like stared at you. Even Michael just like. And we're all looking at Mike like, Mike, what does your penis look like if that's a penis to her?
At this moment, I know I'm not one of the cool kids.
Well, that was even before we got on the show. That was like in the backstage.
Rob,
and like
no
Russell just brought it up right away. Russell's like, it's already gone crazy, guys.
Ridiculous.
Not part of the in grab. You and me, Rob.
Hey, just next time I know to wear my glasses so I can see images on the board. And not, oh, is that a penis? And then 2 seconds later, Russell's talking about that his wife's making, penis and ball, what are the tumblers? And they have penises in them. So you shake them up and it's got
glitter tumblers. Yeah.
Yes.
You guys,
it's a little weird on Saturday. It's definitely a little weird. I actually won't be there this time because I'm going to have to be chatting about the Critter Kickstarter. So, whatever you guys are going to do, you can do. Because I basically have to shut down the show and then go home really fast. But since it's only about a 3-hour drive, if I'm out of there by 6-ish, I'm home by 9-ish. It's fine. It'll be fine. We'll have a couple of hours to kill. And
I'm trying to get Jimmy Noble to get on there.
Oh, jeez.
He's like, I haven't been on a live show in forever. I miss you guys. And I'm like, come on, Blastcast on Saturday night.
It's not like nobody's doing shows, Jim. I mean, there's shows happening all the time. Just open your mouth. So guys, that's going to do it for us here. We will be back normal episode next week, doing some live sales with stuff. Up next is Jesse James and the Binge Bar. So stay tuned. More comic sales coming your way.
Fantastic. An opportunity for me to buy more shit.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. I don't know what Jesse's got tonight, but he sometimes has some fun stuff. So keep your eyes open. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.